Alright, Wolfpack, what's up? I was gonna wait to do my second back, but it's really busy here today, so I'm gonna get it done right now. Call it good here. Let me move this so I'm not. Hey guys get a better audio quality maybe. Anyways, I'm gonna get this warm-up set done, and we'll see if I have something to talk about. I'm gonna move the seat the legs real quick. I feel like I'm a little high. God damn. Hey, we'll see this. Maybe it's a little nicer to me. Alright. Yeah. Okay. That's good for a warm-up set. We'll go straight to the failure sets, as per usual. Now, I know the last video I talked about how, a lot of the stuff I've been talking about has been very repetitive. As, for example, I was kind of just like, I had like a mental script going where I would just talk about how my body's feeling, some news for the day, and my how my school day went. And I wasn't really happy with that, but I'll be real. Similar to how I figured on Friday, didn't really do much to better that. So I am gonna ramble on for a little bit here, at least about my body health. I think that's the one thing that actually is important out of the three things that I normally mention. So like, obviously my body health, I'm feeling fine. Over the weekend, it's the longest recovery period I have. So, it's very unlikely that I'm still sore after a recovery. Maybe some of the, the science-based people would be like, oh, you should probably recover longer, maybe do 3 days a week instead of 5. I'd just say, do whatever you prefer, Like for me, obviously, I'll admit it's probably a little bit more higher volume than most people would recommend. I'm not like crazy high volume. I'm not doing like Arnold sets where I'm doing like 6 hours of lifting. That's a little much in my opinion. But you need to find your sweet spot. So I really think, if you're, I'd say a few years into lifting like I am, should really start, maybe try a new split out, if you, I don't know, let's say you're doing a bro split, maybe do a push-pull legs. Maybe it'll be a little nicer to you in terms of, enjoyment, and maybe your recovery will be a little better. Who knows? I think it's very much varies between the person. I could be doing like an upper lower rest, and that'd probably be good for me. But first of all, I'm too lazy to make a split right now. And secondly, I really like the split that I'm doing right now. It's not a whole lot of thought put into it. Like, I still have thought. I'm not just doing like willy-nilly exercises. I'm not, I have like some kind of a plan behind what I do. It's just, let's say I was doing a push-pull legs, I probably wouldn't be doing my leg exercises or my back and biceps, because today would be a push day for me technically. So, like I said, just find your sweet spot. It's a lot more valuable if you find your sweet spot rather than, doing whatever is most optimal. Because at the end of the day, you're different than the average. Anyways, I'm going to get on the first failure set. As with most of the stuff where it's not like a machine or a cable, I'm not going to go to true failure because I'm not trying to, drop this. But we're still going to go for it. I feel like I'm going to get like 6, maybe more, maybe less. I'm not going to, stop myself at 6 if I can get more, obviously. But I'm aiming for at least 6. So we'll see how this goes. Now I gotta strap up. All right. Okay. No, if I wanted to go for like, some partial reps there, I probably could have done like 2 more before I feel like I'd actually fail. But like, especially the 6th and 7th rep that I did there, I wasn't getting the full range of motion that I like. So I'll stop it there for now. Maybe I'll do partial reps for the 3rd. But not for this one. Anyways, if you guys are like really wanna, you'll love to see me, love watching me, love doing whatever really while watching my videos. I don't know what you're doing right now. Like, you could be eating while watching me. You could. I really have no clue. But if you really wanna, help me out, best thing you could do is comment some ideas for like things you want me to go over, things you want me, want to hear my opinion on. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna give the best answer or the 100% correct answer in the world, but if you really want to hear what I have to say about a topic, and I at least know something about it, I'll probably talk about it. Because, similar to how I said, I don't really have I didn't really change much from like the average talking points that I have. This is a way I could kind of get out of that where, it's a bit more focused around you guys compared to just what's on my mind. So yeah, if you guys just want to help me out, help me with the content, and you guys get to hear, something you're wondering about, maybe, comment, and I'll probably answer it, even if I don't know much about it. I'll probably do some research, considering I'm small creator here. Also, I need to get like a. I'm gonna be honest. I need to start making money. I've been broke for what, 2-ish months now. Ever since I had to pay for second half of my tuition for this year. Not been fun. I've had to turn down a lot of things, but that's what happens when you do the shit that I did and just decide not to work over winter break. No, I'm not saying I would have been a millionaire, from the time being when I started winter break to now. But, I probably could have had at least like a few, I don't know, $800, $900 left, extra than what I have right now. So, that's a little bit of a regret that I have right there. But, even though I think, I do kind of regret that, wish I, was a little bit more efficient with my time. I really don't think I would have, took the time to, I don't really spend a whole lot of time focusing on this content to begin with, but I don't think I would have taken the time to do a video for a majority of my gym days. And I also wouldn't have gotten to see family certain days. So, both positives and negatives. Positives being I got to see my family and I got to work on this a little more. Some negatives, don't got no bread. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, went on a little bit of a tangent right there. I'm gonna get this last failure check going, and then hopefully, another exercise I could do will be open. This is actually my last bag for the day. You guys will probably never see the unilateral movements. Oh, well, the main unilateral movements, because you guys saw the one machine unilateral, which that machine's buns. I'm gonna keep it real. Anyways, I'm not trying to get into a tangent while I'm ready for this set, so just gonna rip it out. Probably not gonna get 6, but I'll be happy with at least 4. It'll be a good set by then. All right. Seven again. Whew. Yeah, that was a good set right there, in my opinion. Anyways, I'll turn back on the camera for when I got another exercise ready, and I'll see you guys then. All right, what's up, Wolfpack? We got bicep curls. Should be the second recorded left of the set. I don't think I lost count. But, we got, like I said, bicep curls. I'm going to get this warm-up set out of the way. Just to get it out of the way. I got to save some time today. All right. We got 22.5 pounds on the cable. Go for how many I feel like. And then we'll go to the first failure set. Okay. Whew. Not a bad warm-up set. I never really pushed myself too hard, considering it's a warm-up set. But not bad. The music I'm listening to right now really reminded me of Alyssa, I think it's Leo. I think that's how you say her last name. But, if you've seen anything from the Winter Olympics, you've probably seen her at some point. I'm going to be real, very inspirational story, if you guys don't know. To my knowledge, she was a figure skater since she was really young. She was like the youngest woman to do like a double axel or something like that. I don't know too much about figure skating if you don't know. But, due to the amount of work that her dad kind of put her under and the stress, she eventually just retired at, I think, 16, lived life for a little bit, and then only recently unretired, and now she's a gold medalist. So really inspirational story. I definitely did not capture everything, so I would suggest looking up her story. But, I think very inspirational person. And obviously she's been killing it in the Olympics, I've seen a lot of things of just really, really horny people. Just, saying whatever. But, I think they're forgetting the main point of the Olympics, and that's, to appreciate the athletes of our countries. I mean, I know, what is it? I think Eileen Gu. I don't know how to say her last name, but I know I'm pretty sure she was born here, but got paid by China. I could be wrong. I'm going purely based off of Twitter on that one. Like, she's someone that's, I wouldn't say like native to China, but obviously she's still representing. So I don't think you can hate on these people for what they do. At the end of the day, it's an appreciation of athleticism, and I think a lot of people are, looking at it in a lot more of a negative spotlight than it really needs to be. Similarly to like how I thought the Super Bowl was a little bit a little bit too political. Personally, it's just a Super Bowl. It's the appreciation of some of the best teams in the NFL, and we're talking about fucking politics here with the halftime show of all things. Like, we really need to, as a collective, we really need to, appreciate things for what they're worth and not think about, like some kind of undertone to it, Like, you can say all you want about like the Bad Bunny performance, or obviously what the people on Twitter have been saying about the Winter Olympics, but still, I think a lot of people, would lose the sense of what the actual goal of the event is for. Whether it be the halftime show, where it's just, appreciating a strong artist who's been doing very well. They're probably gonna be more mainstream than like underground. I'm not gonna see like Too Slimy on the fucking halftime show. That'd be a shit show in my opinion. But I'm not gonna see that. Or well, it's very unlikely. I'm not gonna say it's impossible. But like, a lot of people just lose the actual. They lose the sense of the event. I think I've said that enough at this point. But yeah, let's stop making, the event, or the goal of the event, get lost. Let's leave it as it is, in my opinion. And you can still have your thoughts. I'm not saying you can't have your thoughts on it. Whether you, maybe you watch the Kid Rock show instead of the Bad Bunny one. That's up to you. I'm not gonna hound you saying, oh, you have to watch the Bad Bunny show, but take politics out of it, bro. I mean, Super Bowl's been on like 2 weeks now, 2-3 weeks. So maybe this is old news at this point, but we really, like I said, just leave the event as is. And great on Alyssa Leo for, getting those gold medals. All right, I'm gonna get this first failure set going. I'll be real, I forgot how much I did last week for bicep curls. But I know I'm usually around in the 50 range. So we're doing 52.5 pounds. We'll go for, as per usual, we'll go for 10, we'll go to failure. If I get more than 10, we'll go up in weight. If not, sticking with it. And then we'll go from there. All right. Man, I really feel like when I'm doing bicep curls, I feel like my forearms give out before anything else. Maybe I'm doing my form improperly, maybe my forearms are just a weak point that I should work on. Damn. But I really don't think it's my biceps giving out before anything else. You know, maybe on back. Like whenever I do my back exercises, you know, biceps definitely a limiting factor there. You know, I'm not gonna say. Especially before I started this, before I started doing unilateral, I was very much like, I could barely feel my back in any of the exercises that I would do for my back. You know. But now that I do unilateral, kind of, you know, have a little bit more of an emphasis on trying to get my back. I mean, obviously I had emphasis beforehand, but I feel like, you know, I had to be a little bit more thoughtful of how to actually hit my back, and I think unilateral has definitely helped. You know, it's not the best for when, let's say I'm doing a lat pull down. Like, a lot of the cables for the lat pull down are meant for your bilateral, because you have a lot more range of motion, or at least I do. I can't say you do, but I have a lot more range of motion when I'm going one arm rather than two. Like, I can kind of stretch out a little more. So, you know, when it comes to ones that are meant to be a bit more, you know, non-unilateral, I don't know the actual term for that. Maybe is it just lateral or duolateral? Anyways, that's besides what I'm talking about. You know, it makes it I don't get the full range of motion, which for better or worse, you know, usually in a case like that, I'll just try and get more reps in. You know, hopes that it kind of compensates. But like, especially with unilateral, mainly my unilateral lat pull down compared to my row. But my lat pull down, I'm a lot more. I feel like I'm a lot more focused on my form than if I were to do a regular lat pull down. And I think in a sense it's because I am kind of thinking more about. I'm thinking more about my back when I'm doing unilateral. And I also feel like I kind of get like a better mind-muscle connection. Like, you know, usually, now I actually do feel my back somewhat. I'm not saying it's like, you know, scorching by the time I'm done with my sets. Usually it's my bicep. But, you know, before, like I said, wouldn't feel it at all. Now I feel it usually near the end of my lift, of the set. And then as I'm resting, I could really feel it. Like, by far, I feel it the most when I'm like resting. And then especially if I'm like, you know, touching my lat, then I feel a good amount. But I think that's more just me touching my lat rather than, you know, me being pumped up from a set. There. Yeah.
You mind if I use this?
Yeah, you're all good.
Oh, I wanted to ask last time, which one is that? That's the DJI, right?
Yeah, DJI.
Is it the Osmo 3?
Yeah.
Nice. Good choice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Are you good?
But yeah, you know, if you're not feeling your back at all, I really do suggest doing unilateral. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this last set out. Actually, I gotta move up the weight. All right. Finish this last set out, and then we'll go for one more exercise that you guys will see. We got 62.5 pounds on the cable. If we get more than 10, we'll go up and weigh next video. And if not, we'll stick with this. Because I think I did more than 10 first failure set. Okay. Oof. Ow. All right, that's the end of this. I'll turn back on the camera for one more exercise, and I'll see you guys then. All right, what's up, Wolfpack? We got last film set of the day. Or, well, exercise. Do a little warm up. And we got, leg extension. We'll see if we can max it out today. Anyways, I'm going to get this warm up set done, as per usual. And then, hopefully I got something to talk about. All right. We got 70 on the machine. Going for however many I feel like. And then we'll go we'll go max this thing out. Okay, that should be good. All right. Let's see, maybe I'm ego lifting here. I doubt it, considering I think I did like 12-ish around there last set. Last time I did this on camera. I'm not really, questioning if I think I won't be able to hit it or not. I definitely will be able to hit one. It's not like I'm going from like 150 to maxing it out. It's only a one increment difference. I was taking a look. Well, I'm taking a look right now at myself in this mirror. But I also was taking a look, not mirror, but window. I was taking a look at myself, and I really feel like my bicep is mainly my arm in general. I feel like it's starting to get way more developed than the rest of my body, which it makes sense considering I probably hit my arms the hardest, as well as it's the one I probably hit the most. With my legs, I really just use legs as a whole rather than doing quads, calves, hamstrings. I kind of just do legs as a whole, and then chest or back, I kind of just do back as well. I don't do like traps. I don't do mid back. I don't do lats. I kind of just do whatever. But my arm, I do that bicep, tricep, forearm. So, maybe I need to switch up the regimen a little bit. I'm not going to do that till after I'm done with this little experiment I'm running. But I feel like they're a little, maybe take out some forearm work, put in some shoulders, because two things I'm definitely putting in once I'm done with this is some shoulder work and some ab work. I don't do any of them. I don't really do them normally, but I really feel like, especially my shoulders, especially my abs, I should say. My abs, I'm a lot more noticeable, but that also because I'm just fat. But yeah, my shoulders and my abs, I feel like are really something I should be working on a little better. Maybe I'll actually hit lateral raises when I'm here instead of just skipping over all dumbbells. But I'd much rather try and keep my results for this little experiment I'm running as as independent as possible. I don't want too many issues to where I could blame my whatever result I get. I don't want to blame that because now I'm hitting shoulders. Because one of the things I'm going to do to see this is see if my bench goes up at all, which maybe isn't the best considering it's the only exercise that I don't really take to true failure. But that's besides the point. It is going to be something I do, and I bet you if I start working on my shoulders would at least be somewhat affected. Or if I grew my shoulders, my bench would probably be somewhat affected because of my shoulders. And I don't want it to be because of my shoulders. I want it to be because my my chest and maybe my triceps have grown, which is why I'm able to do a new PR. But yeah, maybe once I'm done with this, you guys get to see me do a bit more ab work, do some leg raises, or whatever I could think of, really. Anyways, I'm gonna get this first failure set done. 260 on the machine, maxing it out. I would say if I get more than 10, I'd go up in weight, but I can't. Maybe I'll get a gym pin at some point, and I'll be one of those guys. But for now, while I'm still broke, it's not happening. So this is what we're gonna be doing. And then if I really feel like I'm starting to limit myself, where it's like I'm doing too many reps to where I'm just fatiguing myself, I'll probably just go to the leg press like I used to. It might be more of a pain in the ass to max out not a pain in the ass to max out, just a pain in the ass to go to failure, just because I don't like to. Because I don't know. Maybe you guys let me know, I guess. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking and get this set done. All right. All right, I'm gonna be real. I got humbled there. Man, I still did it. It's not like I didn't. But I was expecting to do like 10. I think I did I don't know, 6, maybe 8. Somewhere around there. I low-key wasn't counting, considering I don't need to worry about going up in weight at all. But yeah, very much humbling. I thought I was going to get a lot more there. Real question. I've probably said this a decent amount of times now. I feel like I could be wrong, though. Would you guys want to see a day in my life? Want me to make a day in my life video? Where, I'd probably do it on like a Thursday, considering that's like a medium day for me in terms of school stuff. But if you guys would like to see that, we'll do a like goal. I don't think we've ever done a like goal. 5 likes, and I'll do it. Or if you guys comment enough, where you're like, oh, I really want this. I really want to know what you do. I'm gonna be parasocial. You could do that too. I'm not gonna say, you do you. I'm not gonna, tell you what to do. But however you want to get my attention. So like I said, if I do get 5 likes on the video, I will do that. But if you guys comment enough, I'll probably also do it. Just because at the end of the day, I'm running out of content. I've done less than 50 videos at this point, and I'm already almost out of content. It's not great. I feel like I'm not the greatest entertainer in the world personally. I don't think. I think I'm much different when I'm with my friends than I am with you guys right now. If I could kind of merge how I am with my friends, where I'm a lot more, I would say I'm a lot more outgoing in general when I'm around my friends, especially close friends. You guys have seen me with Brody. That's someone who I would say I'm a lot more outgoing when I'm around them. Even though his dad did call me socially awkward when when he came to help me and Brody out. That's besides the point, though. Usually I'm more outgoing. So, but when I'm alone with just me and my camera, and I don't, I know you guys are watching, but I don't have a physical face to, talk to. You know, this is literally just me talking at a wall, technically. You know, you guys can't give me feedback while I'm talking. But, fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, I feel like, entertaining-wise, if I could kind of put that more, that mindset where I'm more around, like, my friends, where I'm a lot more a little bit more outgoing. I won't say a lot more, but a little bit more outgoing, a little bit more, I guess, joking, where I say a lot more, in general, I'm just a lot more, like, humorous, I guess. And, I feel like that would be a little bit better in terms of what you guys get to watch. But I also like the dynamic we got right now, where, like, I'm really just speaking my mind at this point. Like, although I did say, like, recently I've kind of just had some, like, set talking points. I'm still going through my mind. It's not like I have, like, a guaranteed, like, oh, I'm gonna say this. It's very much, like, sporadic. Like, today I would say is a good example of me just speaking my mind. I didn't really have, like, a set. I didn't really go over too much of the set talking points besides, like, how my body's doing. But I think that, like I said in the first clip, I really think that is a very beneficial thing compared to me talking about my school day in the news. But, yeah, I really think, I think I understand why I'm not, like, too big in terms of success on YouTube. But, I'm not mad with how I'm doing it right now. I'd rather keep it the way how I have it right now and enjoy it than put on a fake personality where I'm a lot more, where I try to act like I'm around friends and a lot more outgoing. Just for your guys' sake, I think it'll be a lot better in terms of, like, my overall enjoyment with this. And like I've said with pretty much all the videos where I've talked about my content, I think it keeps it a little bit more authentic. And, authenticity is probably the number one thing I have for this content. I think it's the only thing that I think you really need, to have a good relationship with your viewers. Anyways, I'm going to get this last set out of the way. This will be the last recorded, the last recorded set of the day. Go through the intro, and then we'll end it off there. I don't know how many I'm going to do. I'm not really going to keep count. But, like I said, before I started that first set, if you guys think I should switch to leg press, just so I can, actually go to, max myself out a little better, let me know. Help me out. If you comment, it boosts my my analytics. Probably promote my video a little more, and you guys get to see some feedback. Also, ask me questions so I can give a piece of my mind on whatever you guys want to hear me talk about. And maybe I'll say who gave me the thing or the comment. Anyways, I'm talking too much. Let me get the set done, and then I'll do my outro. All right. Okay, that's it for the video. If you guys want to, like and subscribe. I'm not going to force you to. Check the link tree in the description if you want to follow me on other things. Do your laundry, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.